Working on this 1019, we're going to be hopefully solving two issues here tonight. One is the grounding hum. It was making the hum when I was touching the tone arm, which was a new one on me. And as somebody commented on the previous video, like, hey, there's probably bad contact between the head shell and the grounding pin in there. So we're going to take the tone arm off to try and clean those contacts and troubleshoot that just a little bit better. Troubleshoot that, and it'll be easier to work on with the tone arm off. And then the other thing is the stuck tone arm. Now, I think the stuck tone arm is just behind this piece right here. Behind this piece right here, there's a nut that holds the tone arm down onto the board. I probably just cinched that up way too tight, because that's the only thing that I can think of that would be causing the downward pressure that would keep it from progressing the groove. And immediately after saying that, I'm also wondering if, like, the little bearing sets, there's a bearing set at the top and there's a bearing set underneath the board for the tone arm. And I'm wondering if, like, those aren't set in the proper position or set down fully in their little sections. But we'll see. We're going to take this off. First things first, let's try and fix the grounding hum, and then we'll monkey around with this to fix the stuck tone. Okay, so we've got the sled mounted. I've taken the needle out. So this is the common ground. That's the left. So the question is, so if it doesn't hum when I'm not touching it, and then I touch it and it hums, that means my contact is disrupting the signal and causing it to go, I'm assuming, through a different or multiple channels. So we've got my fingers on the little lift here, and so I wonder, like, does that make sense? I mean, I don't really know. No beep. Oh, may help if I get. Okay, that's supposed to beep. Get out of here. No beep. No beep. Beep. Yep. Nope. Huh. Well, I've done some things, like, take this off. We put some contact cleaner on these pins, and they're, oops, huh, and they're just a little bit. I'm going to work on it just a little bit more. I really don't want to spend a lot of time, or let me rephrase this, take this tone arm on and off repeatedly, because, you know, the more you monkey with this stuff, the more likely it is that my fat fingers are going to break these brittle wires. And I wasn't able to find any instructions on how to take any of this apparatus apart, other than a bunch of people in comment sections and message boards saying, don't do it, you need a special tool. And I'm like, well, that's not what I'm asking. Well, I didn't ask the question. Somebody else asked that, and other folks smarter than me said, hey, don't do it, you need special tools. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I want to do it, but, like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyways, we're going to try and work on this little contact just a little bit further. Because this is the ground, and then this is the common channel it's going to, and we'll see if we can't get that shined up a little bit further. And if it does the hum again, I've read that one of the common solutions is just rewire the damn thing. So if I can't figure this out, I'll just rewire the damn thing. Which, again, be a rascal, because it sure would be easy to rewire it if I could take this tone arm apart from this business right here. But if it's fixed, great. So we're going to shine this up, put it back on there, and then while I've got it taken apart, we'll see if my presumption or assumption as to why it was stuck was correct. And that was, I had a nut cinched down too tight on this threaded part that sits on the underside of this deck. So we'll keep going at it, and yep, onward, upward. So I think I got the contacts at a pretty good spot. It's not spick and span. Only a little bit of that extra corrosion came off, and I'm thinking I've got it at a decent spot. So the next thing we're going to try and fix is the progression of the record. And so the last time I tried this was stuck in the groove, would not progress. And I think it's because when I put this back together, this little retaining nut right here, I think I put it on just a little bit too tight and pulled. And that caused a little bit too much downward pressure, too much friction to keep the tone arm from moving forward, even though manually you could move it forward with your hand. So we just have it hand tight right now. So I'm going to put the platter back on, go grab my cart, and balance this out and grab a test record and see if we need to adjust that retaining nut any further. So far so good. Since I don't have these pieces reinstalled, the auto feature on this rascal isn't going to work at all. So we've got a dual 1019 in 100% manual mode. But also, since that part's not installed, that motor's not going to automatically turn off when I put this tone arm, back on the tone arm rest. So we'll have to just unplug it and then do that. But I think I mean, this is really promising. So we're going to come back to this here in like 5-10 minutes. And if it gets stuck, if it doesn't get stuck, then it'll be on the inner groove. But if it gets stuck, you know, obviously it won't be on the inner groove. Funny how that works. I did find a replacement gasket, or not gasket, but O-ring for the busted one. It's a little bit too loose on the inside diameter, so I'm ordering another batch. They're a millimeter, so instead of 3, it's 2. That should work. Is this a lot of effort instead of just buying the one $10 aftermarket part from that vendor? Yes. But now I know what size that O-ring needs to be. And I do have some other duals that I picked up not too terribly long ago that their little retaining O-ring for their idler wheels are also, you know, just corroded. I mean, they're 50, 60-year-old turntables. So that rubber, you know, it's degraded over time. So we'll be able to save a little bit of money on that little repair. But yeah, I think we're close to getting, I'm fingers crossed, I think we're close to being done with this 1019. And then it's off to a buddy's house with this guy. Yeah. I made it all the way to the inner groove of the record, and so we are going to take this guy, this tone arm off and turn the motor off. And oh yeah, I forgot I took that off. All right, so we're gonna go and see if we need to cinch that nut down even further. If not, we'll start putting this back together. Not too tight. We're gonna give it maybe another turn, test it again, and if it still progresses, then we'll just leave it as is. And then put this stuff back on there. And then hook it up to the stereo.
So I thought I took video, but I cinched it down too tight on the third go around and ended up backing it off about a quarter of a turn, and then brand new problems showed up.